Cambridge Road and Somerset Road have for some time now presented challenges to the Bermuda Police Service. These areas have for a long time been a meeting place for men who do not live in the area. Some of these men are associated with the MOB gang that everyone in Somerset has heard of. The Cambridge Road area is sadly also referred to as Gun Alley. I recently attended a meeting of the Cambridge Road area residents, and I listened as they explained to me that they are living in fear and live with daily intimidation caused by these men. These men sit at the entrance to Cambridge Road and block the road or delay the free passage of the residents when they are returning to their homes. The men are seen to sell and use illicit drugs, which is supported by the drug seizures and drug possession arrests that have occurred in the area. The men use offensive language towards the area residents, and their behavior under the influence of drug and alcohol causes intimidation. I have reports that visitors to our islands and who are staying at guest accommodations and must travel along Cambridge Road have reported that they have experienced similar offensive behaviors that does not shine a good light on Bermuda generally. Unfortunately, despite the increased law enforcement of the area, this has not reduced the level of fear and intimidation suffered by the residents. When the police leave, these men return to their appalling conduct that causes alarm and distress. Everyone will appreciate that this is unacceptable. Continuing to work in partnership, the Bermuda Police Service has consulted with the Department of Public Prosecutions and the Attorney General's Chambers. As a result of the guidance that's been received, I am, in my capacity as the Western Area Police Commander, announcing that with effect from 8 a.m. on Thursday the 31st of May, I have given authorization for police officers to begin exercising police powers afforded to them under Section 110 of the Criminal Code Amendment Act 2010. The authority will be exercised on Somerset Road, between Broome Street and Cambridge Road, and any public place contiguous to these roads. In accordance with the requirements of the Criminal Code, a notice to this effect will appear in both the Royal Gazette and the Bermuda Sun newspapers, together with a map. With effect from Thursday this week, police officers will give an oral instruction to the men who congregate in these areas to immediately disperse and to not return for the duration of this authority. Any person who refuses to disperse or who returns having been previously told to disperse makes himself liable to arrest. Any person who is arrested can expect to be held and placed before the next sitting of the Magistrates' Court. The maximum penalty on conviction for an offense against this act is a fine of $2,500 and or imprisonment for up to 3 months. I'm going to turn you over to Mr. Barnett of the Community Action Team.
Good morning. I'm standing here as a member of the Mangrove Bay Neighborhood Watch, as well as a resident of Somerset and Cambridge Road, and our chairperson, Eleanor Fowle, who owns the Somerset Pharmacy, could not be here. The bottom line is we are very staunch residents of this community that we live in Somerset. We're very proud of the area. We're proud of and loving of our neighbors. And we have basically come together and we've decided that enough is enough, and we're going to act to ensure that our neighborhood and our community is safe for our children, for our families, and with the support of the police. I'd also like to obviously point out the support of our Member of Parliament, Michael Scott, who has come to our meetings. We'd also like to point out Minister of National Security, Wayne Parentchief, who has also thrown his weight behind. And I feel that this could very much be a turning point of, as many of the turning points have happened, where we as Bermudians choose to refuse what is wrong and accept what is right. And there's a majority of us, a strong majority of us, who want what's best for our families, for our community. And this is an action that we have certainly partaken in to ensure that. We're going to have a neighborhood party in the area. We're going to have a barbecue. We're going to show what's great about the Somerset area, and particularly that stretch of road, which has unfortunately been blighted by continuous antisocial behavior by, again, a minority of people who some of them may not even be from that specific neighborhood. So I'm certainly very happy to stand here representing the rest of the residents of Somerset who have partaken in this action. And we'd like to thank the Bermuda Police Service for reacting as they have, to listening to our concerns, and for acting on them. And we certainly feel very good about the future of our neighborhood because of that. Thank you.
Good morning. The Sandys Parish Council is also just privileged to be able to work with the groups that are intending to clean up the Cambridge Road area. In the past, we've also had the opportunity to work to clean up that area, and we would love for our neighbors and our friends to be able to enjoy safe and clean neighborhoods. And so we certainly are going to pledge our support to whatever it takes to help the Cambridge area to become safe and friendly for the families, for the children that live in that area. For us as the parish council, we're actually responsible for the whole parish. And so when we see a small part of our family being taken hostage and just feeling uncomfortable, we do whatever we can to support what the efforts that they're going to do. And so we're looking forward to working with the police as well as with the neighborhood, and even just trying to take the next step in helping to resolve this problem, not just through the policing, but also offering solutions that can help our young people and those in the neighborhoods to move on. We had a Sands community that speaks, and there were some entrepreneurial opportunities that were offered to residents of Sands and those in the West area. And we would love for those who feel that one of the problems that they have is that they need job opportunities to be able to seek some of the solutions that can be provided, and not just feel that they will be left with no opportunities to better their bottom line. Thank you.
Take up in a position to take any questions if there are.
I'm an area resident, and while I do think it's refreshing that you're taking this action, the reality is these guys are out there from almost as early as 8 in the morning to almost night, every single day of the week. And I noticed that the duration of authorization is till June 13th. What happens after that, when they come right back to where they've been hanging for years?
Okay. Under this authority, the authority can only be given at my rank for a 2-week period, and that is the 2-week period. The Act also allows for an extension up to a 1-month period by an officer of the rank of superintendent or above. What we're going to do is we're going to assess the response to this over the next 2 weeks, and if it's favorable at that time, then I'll be making an approach to one of the superintendents and ask for them to issue the extension. Now, after that period, if this continues, then we start from the beginning again, and we'll reissue the authority until this is finished.
Are there any plans in place in the meantime, in that interim, for regular, what would be called, beat police officers? I mean, I sometimes stand out the road and I see these guys, and they just drive right around the corner towards the police station. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know these guys are probably selling drugs. Is there any long-term solution for regular officers to start taking some more proactive action?
Yeah, as far as foot patrols through the neighborhood, I'm aware that our community action teams, PC Jane Louis is one of those officers, do regularly walk through that neighborhood. We have our operational police units which come from across the island, which includes our mobile police officers in armed response vehicles, whether they're riding police motorcycles, our general patrols which work out of Somerset Police Station. We have the police support unit, and all of those people are going to come together, and they're going to be giving this their full attention. Our objective is obviously to make it known to these guys that they're not wanted in this neighborhood, and that they need to leave, and if they return, then obviously there's a repercussion.
Mrs. For yourself, some of these individuals are relatives, might be of yours. It's a small knit community out there. And you did say that most of them are unemployed. Other than, I don't know how you're gonna fix the situation, but that's the first cry, we ain't got no work.
Right, we've had conversations, even with the community beat officers, about some of the young people who, because of affiliations, can't be with the parish. So we are going to try and look at solutions. The Sandys Parish Council, we hold regular stakeholder meetings, and so one of the things that we will talk about at that meeting is how do we not only have them moved because of behavior, but how can we help them so that once those who want help can get help in finding jobs and some solutions to to those type of problems. Because, yeah, it's our, they are our relatives, our friends, people who we even went to school with. But it's not just, the police are taking their action, and then the next step will be for the helping agencies and those of us who are in positions to improve a lot of the people in the area through the social aspect, to give the next step so that they can be provided with an alternative that can also help. So the police will do their part, and then we also need to do our part in helping them to seek alternative lifestyles.
You move from one spot, they move to another, what happens there?
We're very conscious of that we could be simply just pushing them onto another spot.
Yes,
And we'll police that next spot. It'll come with its own dynamics, things that we can address probably instantly. We're aware of that, and we'll obviously be monitoring this, and we'll be following wherever they go. But I'll just follow up on what Ms. Simmons was just saying. There's a very real consequence to a lot of these young men to being associated to gangs such as MOB. We have young men that cannot leave Somerset. We have young men that we can't encourage to go into town and get on the hustle truck, as an example, and go and earn some money. And one of the discussions that we did have is perhaps creating a hustle truck in Somerset. And clearly that's something that the Sandys Parish Council may have conversation with the minister over. But again, with this multi-dynamic or multi-pronged approach that we want to take to this, is not only enforcing the law around it, but also providing opportunities and options for these guys. We do want them to get to work and come off of these corners.
And if I